Welcome to the Evanston Sub. Now we're going to break this part of the Evanston Sub into two parts. You already saw the Granger to Green River portion, but now we're going to break the west end, which technically I consider Evanston to Ogden. We're going to cut that in half from Evanston to Echo, and then another part will be Echo to Ogden. Anyways, the part we're going to focus on right here is Echo, Emory, Evanston, Wasatch, Castle Rock, and then along this area there's a road that leads you from Echo all the way up to Emory, which is a good spot, and we'll talk about those shortly. Hey folks, this morning we are starting off in Echo, Utah, and it's a good spot because it's kind of between Echo and Weber Canyon. If you continue going the direction we're going on Echo Canyon Road, you can catch the train all the way to Castle Rock. Well, you can go past that to Wasatch, but in terms of the road, it ends at Emory, but then you catch the freeway to Castle Rock. However, if you want to chase the train this way, you can chase it all the way to Ogden, basically going along the Highway 80, but this is a good point to catch it if you plan on catching trains, or chasing trains I should say, because you can catch it halfway through its journey between the canyons kind of, and then get it the rest of the way in. Alright, next up. Now this area, it may say Echo Canyon Breastworks, Pine Canyon. Basically, out of Echo, you want to head east on Echo Canyon Road. And when you head east, you end up following the railroad tracks. I think it's about a 40-mile-an-hour speed limit along here until you get to Emory. And at Emory, that's the point where you have to actually get on the freeway to get you to Castle Rock. But this area is nice. You can probably, depending on the type of train, you can probably catch, like, let's say a loaded manifest at Echo, and then you can chase it, and you can probably get it somewhere along Echo Canyon Road. And then if you go fast enough, which you should go the speed limit, but if you go faster than the speed limit, you might be able to hit it at Emory and then Castle Rock. And then, like I said, if it's a fat boy and it's slow, you should be able to even catch it up at Wasatch. Once it hits past Wasatch, that seems to be the top of the grade. I don't see you being able to catch it from between Wasatch and Evanston. But Evanston's not that great anyway, so we'll move on. As you heard me say before, Emory is a good spot. So Emory is where Echo Canyon Road basically goes over the railroad tracks, which, as you can see where it says Big Mountain Pass there, you see how the road goes over the railroad tracks. Now, a very important thing here, if you're headed eastbound here on the highway, not on East Echo Canyon Road, but on the highway, Dwight D. Eisenhower Highway, you do not have the ability to get off at Echo Canyon Road if you're headed eastbound. If you're headed westbound, that's when you'll be able to get off at Echo Canyon Road. Just a word to the wise, if you're going to have to catch a train there and you're headed eastbound, you have to go to Castle Rock exit, get off on that exit, make a U-turn, and come down to the Emory down here, which is by Big Mountain Pass where you see there. Hey there, we're at the overpass at Emory. As you can tell from this location, we're looking, the best way to get him is going to be eastbounds here. And then if you take a look, still good either way, but eastbound looks better, I would say. And then This is the other side of the bridge. Not too many people come out here, so I wouldn't park on the bridge. I'd park down the way and then just stand on the bridge here and take your chances. No, I'm kidding. I don't advocate anything crazy, but as you can see, that's your straightaway. So I park down there. Next up, we're going to go ahead and check out Castle Rock. Castle Rock is a nice area. It has on-ramp and off-ramp both directions. So as you're here on the 80, you'll see where it says Echo Creek there and Lewis Canyon. Basically, when you get off the off-ramp, there's a little like kind of dirt road there. And you'll get on that dirt road to where it says Echo Creek and where that river is. Sorry, and I should say on the, I guess, northwest side of the 80. And there are a couple places you can go. You can go where you'll see the one video, and then if you go up a little dirt hill, you can get a little better vantage point. Basically, as far as catching trains go, the tracks that are closest to you are going to be the westbound trains, and then the track that's away from you is going to be the eastbound. The eastbound has a tunnel, which is kind of cool, and it's definitely a nice place to kind of relax. You won't get like real great train noise, mainly because the trains that are headed west are in dynamics, so you're not going to get the nice run 8, but you'll get okay run 8 sounds, not the best, from the eastbounds at Castle Rock. But you have some beautiful red rocks out there, especially if you can catch it like in the morning with the sunrise. All right, we're here at Castle Rock, Utah. As you can see, you got one main line close to us and one far away from us. The one far away from us, as you can, I don't know if you'll be able to tell, but there's a tiny little tunnel there, and they have some cuts along the way. Pretty good place. Okay, looks like the guy's got a junkyard, but you can see the two main lines. Like I said, we're here at Castle Rock, Utah. Alright folks, now we're going to go hang out at Wasatch. As you can see, one is the station name and one is the name of the road there. Basically, when you get off of the 80, you'll want to basically go on the northwest side of the freeway where it says Wasatch Road, and you'll see a little crossing there. That's a nice little place to go. They have a water tower there, and as eastbounds come up the hill, it's really nice because they kind of peek up out of nowhere. The westbound traffic They come through, they come around a nice curve. So it's a good area to go to. Not the greatest, but it's still kind of nice to get a different shot, and definitely a place that I've shot at. All right, folks, we're here at Wasatch, W-A-H-S-A-T-C-H. The off-ramp is, slash on-ramp is straight ahead where you see that red stop sign. We got some Lorem work here, but they're not actually working, it's just parked. We got our two mains. Don't know for sure, but it sure feels like this is the summit here. And we got the mains that continue on. It's not the greatest place, but it does give you a nice straightaway for westbound traffic, and then you'll get a nice shot for eastbound traffic coming up the hill. All right, folks, check it out later. Now this is known as a Union Pacific Territory, aka Evanston, Wyoming. Not the greatest place to go watch trains. If you go on Union Drive, there are a couple spots. There's like one in town there by their somewhat of a little yard, and then the other area is on the left hand side by where it's like a little bit of a blue lake, and it says Union Drive, which is to the left of the Purple Sage Golf Course sign. And like I said, it's not the greatest, but it's okay, you know, if you want a little different perspective. And we'll see if you guys go if you like it.